did from the start or beginning of the project, yeah, and then
Like that?
yeah.
Thank you. It didn't work for me yesterday.
That's funny.
Okay, so this class is Tutor Training 101. There will be 0 credit hours and there will be no charge.
But there will be tests.
There will be tests. So, before we do this, I'm going to have you put your name on the card and write down one question that you would like to get answered today concerning business or anything with DSC. And if you can't think of a question, a question mark will suffice. Answer what yesterday with just a question mark.
Oh, yeah. I know. I did? Yeah, that was, I think that was somebody's question yesterday.
The purpose of these is to make sure that we don't miss anything important, and we can't think of everything. Any oddball question that you have is fine.
Yes.
It'll be totally confidential.
With your name on it. We're going to expose you, Jessica. No, I shouldn't say that to you. You take it literally.
No, I understood that one.
That's not true.
Oh, okay. Well, when we discuss these, maybe you can mention it so everybody else can get answers.
We had the same one yesterday. Hey, ready?
Abby's still running.
Okay.
She has some good questions.
How do you do it? It's just one
Okay, while Abby's finishing up, I'm going to ask you guys to come up and form in a circle. I'm going to need you guys to participate too, if you don't mind. You don't have to do the hard stuff, but you might need to do the, just for the,
Okay, our stuff.
yeah. You guys are going to hold hands. And Jessica, I want you to get in the middle.
Oh, so I go right here?
Yes, get in the middle. Just, you have to join hands. This is going to be a circle. No, not you. You're in the middle. In the middle. Yeah. Okay. Okay. This activity is all about trust.
Is this the same?
No.
Oh.
It's about trust and teamwork. And we know as part of the ASC, we've got to depend on each other. We've got to trust each other. You know, we've got to be able to talk with each other openly. And everything is always pleasant and not everything is always easy. But we do, trust kind of builds itself up from that sometimes, doesn't it? Okay? We can't just go and say, just got to trust you and I don't know you. We talk and then we learn how to trust each other. So this game, get a little bit closer, please. This game is going to see whether or not Jessica can trust you guys. Because what's going to happen in this activity is that she's going to go completely limp. And she's going to trust you guys to hold her up. In that ASC, we trust each other to hold us up. I mean, if something is wrong, if Kelsey walks through that door and she's got some teary eyes, but she has 3 little boys, and I know these boys, and I love these boys, and I love Kelsey too, I'm going to go right away and say, I'm not going to say, are you tutoring today? I'm going to say, what's wrong? We need to have that kind of trust that we can chat with each other and make sure we're okay as we're tutoring in that ASC. Okay? I've done that with her many times, especially when she was sick and she wanted to stay here, and I said, are you sure? And she just like started crying. And I said, you need to go home. right now.
I had 3 different infections too.
Yeah. Please go home.
I had strep throat and dehydration and
But if we don't take time to look at each other, we're not going to even know what we're doing with each other. So it takes time to have that facial contact. And then depend on each other. Okay. So, I want you to go limp, and I want you to go around that. Can I just kind of show you? I'm not going to fall.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You can just go limp, and you can just go. And they're going to hold you up. Okay? Do not let go of your arms.
So I'm being
And your hands.
active, right?
Okay? Go for it. Let's see if she can trust you. That's a little bit, yeah, keep going, keep going. Keep going. A little bit too tight though. Move back a little bit so she has a little room to fall. Keep going. Don't let your drunk. Her eyes are rolling. Okay. Very good, Jessica. You can wake up now. Wake up. It's over. All right. She's small. Okay. We're all very important. We all care about each other. Okay. I'm going to get the circle to turn around, and I'm going to point. Who is it? Are you drunk? So, get in. The same thing is true for all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to get 911 on?
And please,
All right,
I'm
me?
trying to knock down the venue, right?
We love you. We care about you. But you are to be gentle at this moment. Yes. Okay. All right, go for it.
This is interesting. It's all kind of bouncy house. No floor
Yeah.
down here, huh?
Okay, I think you guys get the idea. All right, now I gave my perspective on it. Just briefly, what do you think? Not just about this activity here, but about us as a group in there working together.
This is one fine group.
This is one fun group. Can I get an amen? All right, what else?
Just trust.
Tell me about that trust.
We each trust in us.
To hold him up. Now, this was a little activity. But what if he's really going through something? We don't need to get into his business and say, well, tell me about it. I know. Yeah, seriously though, we have one girl whose dog died. And I just, I lost a cat when I was little, but I didn't take it as seriously as she did, and we really had to talk about that. And she had to literally get it out in a bunch of tears. Russ was there. And I'm thinking, okay, what did I do? What was wrong? Well, you know what? It takes people longer periods of time to get through their stuff than others. We're all going to, we all have to go through it. So I think we need to be sensitive to that. And really, because if we're going to work together here as a team, we've got to know each other that way. Okay? Okay. So that's one activity. Thank you for participating. And like last week, Desiree and I had a good cry because she had a family member die right in the middle of our tutoring. And she got a text. So, yeah. We go through that kind of stuff. I can say, okay, well, let's just stop. I can just be really rude about it. She made me cry. She made me cry. But that's okay. I'm crying no oops. Okay, on to the next thing. You guys may have a seat. Oh my God.
No, wait.
Hey, yes,
No.
we're not missing anymore.
I did get that on video.
It's Jessica. Ow. Okay.
Jessica, I'm sorry.
I almost said I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing with you. I was really laughing at you. Okay. The next activity is what I call a team building activity also. And you guys are going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, what is she asking me to do? This is crazy. It's really not. The whole idea behind this activity is to get you thinking. Okay, it's called a New Planet activity, and it's decision making. In that ASC, we have to make decisions all the time, together, separately, without leadership. Sometimes you've got to say, what do I do now? Well, nobody's here, so I guess I'm going to do that. And I think it's going to be okay. But this one's going to be a little bit different here. We have a new planet that's been established because Earth is being overpopulated. And there are 30 people who have a chance to go and live on this new planet. But they don't know who they are because you have to decide who they are. So I would like for you guys to take only 3 minutes to decide who's going to go and live on that new planet. And it has to be very strategic. Don't just circle 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to have a reason behind why you choose who you choose. You're going to circle it. Circle. You're going to choose 10. 10 people. And you may begin now. Three minutes.
Can I have a pen?
Whole bunch of them.
Life science, earth science, physical science, biology, chemistry, physics. All at the same time. And then, in addition to that, I made all my students turn in a portfolio, submit their portfolio.
I should expose their answers.
3 or 4.
Well, she wants me to look at everything.
Yeah,
answers too.
I can give you a whiteboard to look at.
Yeah.
And so, during the semester, not only did I have stacks of finals to grade, I had 70 or 80 portfolios to grade.
Oh my God.
About,
We got about
even
30
with they just
seconds.
took 10 minutes each to grade, that's about 10, 12 hours. Just grading portfolio. It was terrible. Normally, all the other faculty were finished grading and on their vacation for a couple of days before I got done. I don't know, I can't do that here. Grades are due at noon on Friday.
Okay, time is up. Fold that one in half, please, and just keep it. Then I'm going to ask you guys to group, and I'm going to give you one of the same one, and I want you together to come up with 10 people. And after that, I will talk with you about your individual one and the one you have done collectively. And I would ask that Kelsey is a spokesperson for the decision you guys made collectively. Okay? So somehow you get together. You can go stand back there if you want, or if you're going to need to have something right. And that table back there will be fine. You don't need that one back there with you. Yeah, you don't need anything back there with you. No paper or anything. Has Kelsey got that other copy? give you, for this one, let's take 5 minutes.
Okay. I think you should sit in the middle so you can, so you can.
Yes.
It's alright, shit. Although we can fit right here. You're falling off, look, I'm dizzy. You gonna tell us when to go?
Go, yeah, go.
Okay, so what do you think? Wait, we need to choose people that, to repopulate the planet, 10 people. So, male, female.
This one is the 45-year-old male investment banker, very wealthy because he's going to school. There's or he has an education and wants to be an influence to other people.
Can I make a suggestion? How about we go 1 through 30 and just...
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So with a 35-year-old female, she has 3 children. That's 3 more
Right.
we could have. And she's bringing with her self-expression from the old planet, which
Right.
could be useful.
So she's already started a chain because she has 3 kids. So what do you think about number 1? I vote.
You don't like graphic
Just
artists?
number-wise is good because you get 4 people for the price of 1. You see what I'm saying? And like her 3 children.
Well, she is a graphic artist.
What use is graphic art?
So should we vote? Like how do we do
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
I don't know why I'm voting.
I say we go for it because she's a graphic artist. You need a little bit of entertainment on that new planet. So
That we don't want the next generation to forget where they came
Right.
from.
yeah,
So,
she could paint pictures for that.
So 12-year-old male, straight A student, wants to be a police officer.
Yeah. And the kids can
I would keep him. Yes, keep him because he's off.
That's something. He's off to a good start, and
Yeah.
you're gonna need some type of authority while you're in the new planet.
If he's starting to have his high achievement already at 12 years old, he's going to continue it. And students who do that achieve their goals in high school, and most likely he will become a police officer.
Oh, I don't feel
And there's many people.
just from like, this problem having to do with it, but he's about to enter puberty, which could have an effect on the rest of his life. I mean, we haven't seen him rebel or anything yet. He might still enter that stage where he says, hey, screw all this. I'm going to blow up this planet. So it's just something to consider. I think it's a good idea to keep him, but
Let's
we
put a
might want to keep
question
it
mark.
on.
Okay, number 3, 59-year-old male computer technician.
I get him.
Well,
He's a
We might need some sort of communication with remote plane.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I'm not very sure.
Technically, he could still have children, and he also
At 15.
has. So that happens.
I don't know about that.
And I mean, the technology. You're starting a whole new planet. You may need some computer thing. I don't know. You should question mark it.
I think you should go for it.
Go for it. 18-year-old male high school dropout does not have a job. No.
Okay, we don't have to give him. It's not. It's not hard. Why would you give him though? Like, he doesn't want to make something good out of his life.
That's the only thing I can see being good for.
I'm sorry.
Well, he would need a female, so if I come back. 24-year-old female, pregnant and expecting twins. She's a teacher.
I keep her. The reason why? Just because she's pregnant doesn't mean she's still a teacher when she's teaching.
Yeah, she's still on school with her, right?
Yeah.
Her kids could hook up with these kids.
She's important.
25-year-old female fashion model.
I didn't care for that.
I would use her to reproduce, so she would no longer reproduce.
You use it to reproduce?
If we're starting a new world. Yeah. Okay. We have a 15-year-old female pregnant high school student.
With that one, somebody that young being pregnant, the child isn't going to be well nourished. not going to be healthy. Likelihood of surviving on this type of planet would be pretty low.
No, we need to save her. Because the baby is important. I mean, do you want the baby to die? And she's a student. She's going to school. Oh my God.
They only have 3 of them done. But you guys have to focus more on just repopulation.
I know, that's what I was
You guys didn't get down the line.
right now. It's time.
You guys want to can? You don't have three? This is reflective of Kentucky's, isn't it?
This is a tough
Lives
one.
are at stake.
What now?
Lives are at stake.
Yes, they are. So, Kelsey, what's your group to decide on? I want to see if I have been extinct.
Most likely you have, because we only have 3 chosen.
3.
Yes.
Okay, who are those special people that have been accepted into the new planet?
We have a 35-year-old female who has 3 children. She's a graphic artist, number 1. Number 3, the 59-year-old male computer technician. And number 5, the 24-year-old female pregnant and expecting twins who's a teacher.
So what's your rationale behind that, please?
Well, those were chosen just because we ran out of time. So those, we're going down the list. So they seem the best out of the 5 choices that we looked at.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a question here. On the strategy that you guys used together, that was conversation, there was some decision making. How does that relate to what we're doing in the ASC? Regardless of age, because as you guys very well know, not everyone that comes into the lab to be tutored by you is your age. How does that relate? Isaiah, I'll ask you that question.
It relates because no matter what age, what background, everybody has something to contribute.
What about the skill, Desiree? You guys chose people that have 3 children, graphic artist, someone that's pregnant. What about up there in the ASC? Do we respond to those people who are pregnant and otherwise? Do we discriminate because they might look differently or act differently? Or so tell me about that then. How do we relate to that?
Well, we have everyone that comes in, and regardless of what they've done, we just want to see them succeed.
You want to help them succeed. That's the bottom line. Okay, who was the other category? What was the other category?
High school dropout. No, wait. Take that back. Computer technician.
All right.
Computer technician.
Tell me about that one, Jessica. What was the discussion on that one?
Just mainly for the technology, since it's a new planet.
Okay, I want you guys to reflect back what we did up here as a group. Okay, and working together as a team. Up there, when people walk through that door, you know, this is all about training and how you receive people, how you accept people, no matter their status in life. I've tutored many girls who are expecting, many people who were older coming back to school for the first time, and they tell you that. And to me, it is, I love challenges anyway, and we should grasp those challenges and make them feel like this is absolutely fantastic. I am so glad you're here. Not, oh, really? Oh, well, are you sure? You know, there's no hesitation with when people come back here. We are there to service their needs and to make them feel like, you know what, we're going to help you, we're going to work with you in every capacity that we have. That's what we're here for. So that makes us a team. If we realize that as a group here, that our jobs are to help other people, to reach out, and when we see them, greet them as if, you know what, they're your best friend. Because as time goes on, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get to know them so deeply that you begin to relate on a different level. Okay? So I appreciate the time you guys put into that. Thank you very much, and that's all.
I have a question. One of the things on the list was a doctor, and if you have 10 people going to a new planet, don't you think you would need a doctor?
We just figured it out of our day.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this question? What if there were 10 doctors available? Do you think it'd be smart to just make all 10 choices doctors?
No.
Why not?
Because that's only one skill set represented.
Yeah, one person could do that, right? That's kind of analogous to what we are here too, right? Because we all have different abilities and skills, and as a team, working together for survival or whatever, diversity of abilities is better than just one well-advanced ability. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, the appointments part is a part of the duties of the tutors, but you've got a list in front of you that kind of goes over what the duties are. The first one is be on time. If you can't be on time or you must miss your scheduled tour of duty, call as soon as you know. That way, if you have appointments, we can reschedule them, we can get a hold of people, or reschedule them with another tutor. When you come in, clock in at your scheduled time, unless we are going crazy and we say, can you clock in early? That's always a possibility. Check the tutor availability book to see if you have appointments when you first come in. That way you're ready. And if you don't have any, still put your sign out, and at that point, you can do your homework, but you must be available if someone comes up and asks for help. That's why your sign has to be sort of pointed towards the door so that everyone can see it. It seems like a little thing, but if they're standing there, or if I tell them their appointment is with Isaiah, and they can't see Isaiah's sign, then I have to take them over to Isaiah and say, Isaiah, here's your appointment. Sorry. And as you all know, this is the availability book.
Calendars are in the back.
Oh, there's extra calendars in the back of it for following weeks. So if you are booking people out 2 or 3 weeks at a time, just let us know and we'll put more pages in so you don't miss those. So.
Also, this has come up several times, there is some confidential information such as your phone numbers and your email addresses and stuff like that. Policy is do not give that out to
Anyone.
Tutoring. The appropriate thing to do then would be, what time would you like to have tutoring?
No appointments, you can do your homework. If the ASC are slow or empty, take the initiative to clean the desks, the labs. This consists of the keyboard, the countertops, around the top edge of the monitors, the monitor screen, and the open part where the computers sit in. People throw all kinds of nasty stuff in there. I've found gold teeth, gum, you name it, but disinfect everything. That way we all stay healthy. Don't lower the computers unless requested to by a staff person, because all the new computers are bigger than the old ones, and we have to move them in a certain way for them to go down. Otherwise, you get crunched equipment. And with them being brand new, we would be in a lot of trouble for that. On Tuesdays and Fridays, the multimedia needs to be cleaned in the entire building, and that's these pieces of equipment. And we will train you on how to do that. It's no big deal, but it keeps, there's so much chalk dust in that, and it keeps the machines working good. And we check to see if somebody leaves the lamps on, because these bulbs are very expensive, so we make sure those are off. And that's kind of like going to be rotated, depending on who's on Tuesday and Friday.
By the way, sometimes then when they're in sleep mode, if the green light is still on, it's still turned on. Okay, so everybody see the green light? If it's red, it'll be off. When I turn them off, red button on this little remote.
Do not leave the ASC if you are on the clock unless approved by a member of the staff or requested to run an errand to another part of the campus. During the evening shifts, there's a staff member in charge if you have any questions or concerns. But most of all, enjoy yourself. You know, you've made the commitment to be here. You're getting paid for it, rather than it being a volunteer type job. And you're helping a lot of people, but enjoy it. It shouldn't be something that you're dreading when you get here, because you're doing a good service for a lot of people. And judging from the tutor reports, you guys are helping a lot of people. So that's the most important. Just relax about it. And that's it for that.
And you guys get the forms, or go ahead and do.
Well, you all got a copy of the tutor form. What is yellowed out on it is what needs to be filled out. These are our bread and butter. I enter these into a database, and we draw reports from the database that go all the way up to the president. And this lets him know we are a viable need, we're serving a need, and it tells them how many students we serve in a day, how many students we've served in a semester, if they've been back twice, 3 times, we track that. We send reports to the professors to let them know who in their classes are coming in for help. For instance, Professor Deal wants to know who of his people are coming in to do test corrections. We can send him that report, and he's got the day they came in, their name, what they were there for. But unless I have that on here, I can't tell him that. So that's why, especially when you're talking about what you're doing, make sure it's legible. Some of you guys write like doctors, and I have a hard time reading. No, I can read yours.
Also, the more detail that you fill it out, what takes you a couple seconds to fill out, the instructor's name or the line number of the class, that information. If it's easy for you to fill it out, go ahead and do it, because it takes her 2 or 3 minutes to look it up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saving Diana a lot of time, more than you fill out on the form.
For students who are coming in for a specific class, like I tutor for the TEAS test.
Just write TEAS test on there. Because I have an other category that I put that in. And then I just make the note in the outline TEAS test.
Just make sure I wasn't messing
And
up.
that goes to the nursing people. So they know who are hoping to be in, anybody that they have like in pre-nursing classes. It helps them to know who came in to get help. And it normally, when you're sending these reports, if a teacher sees a kid's name on there that he's gone in for help, and he's on the borderline between A and B, that may push him into an A. He's like 1/4% or something really close. So it's real important that we fill everything out on there and to be accurate. Yes?
Okay, if a student come in for help, in a subject you're not tutoring, like let's say they need help in economics, and you're not tutoring in that, and you can help them to study. Can you do that?
That's a Karen question. Because we have to have authorization from the professors. Like you took your psychology thing and went and had that signed. If we don't have that backup information and somehow that student gets misinformation, whether it be you or whether they just misunderstood, that comes back to bite us. So that's why you generally can only tutor in what you're approved for.
Yeah, if the student just needs help in study skills, knowing where to look in the book, whether they want to look in the
Yeah,
index,
something like that.
those type of things, just make sure it's clear that, and also that there's not a qualified tutor available to help at that time. Just make sure it's clear that you're helping them with skills.
So as soon as you wrote it down, that you were just helping them to
Study skills.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put that.
And then, of course, if somebody has a review sheet that's filled out or something that's already filled out or completed and it just needs help by repetition, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I also mentioned the group session form, that occasionally we have tutors helping more than one student at a time. We do have a form that you can fill out for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see, what else?
The think tank form, but it's called on the wall, where all the other farms are. So if you have a group, you can use that form rather than writing out a bunch of tutor information forms.
And then also, I know that at least initially when the cross-country team came in for their introduction, the coach said that they did need to have a copy of the tutoring forms.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like for example, Nathan Deal's test correction, we have to make a copy of the form for those. So in some cases, you will need to, after you complete the form, they sign it, you sign it, go into the workroom and make a copy that you can send to them. Okay. Questions regarding filling out forms? Okay, I think we'll skip back to clocking in and out.
I'll keep this fairly short, clocking in and out. It's very important that you clock in and out. If you forget, see, even I do sometimes, write your time, write down the time, initial it, then have one of us initial it too, okay? And then be sure to sign your cards, because we can't turn them in over there and you don't get paid if you don't get them signed. They figured your pay from the 10th to the 10th, and then they pay the 25th. If the 25th falls on a Saturday or Sunday, then they'll get your paycheck earlier. It'll be that Friday. Okay. It's real important to get this done so that you can get everything in on time and keep your pay coming to you, right? Okay. I think that's about all we need on that.
Any questions about clocking in, clocking out? It is okay if you need to use the restroom, go use the restroom.
Yeah.
And use a rule of thumb like 10 minutes or whatever. If you gotta be out more than 10 minutes, probably a good idea to go ahead and clock out. Okay. Yes?
Can you like take a break? Let's say you want to take a break, you want to just grab something to eat, and you know that you can't eat the air. Can you just clock out?
You should talk with whoever that's got the floor, with the staff member that's got the floor. Most likely if you don't have any tutors lined up or any, tutees lined up or any appointments, they're going to say, yeah, go ahead. So just have a little chat with whoever's.
You're going to be a while.
Yeah,
Then
that's
you
what I
have to
think.
clock out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And that
Yeah.
way they know you're gone and that you'll be back soon.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that's.
All right, next. Talk about emergencies, okay? What to do in an emergency. The sheet that I gave you initially has this information on it. There is one of these for each of the buildings on campus, and usually on the bottom floor, as soon as you come in the front door, ours is right over here on the hallway by the girl bathroom. This same document. All right. In the case of fire alarms or tornado alarms, we have different actions that we're supposed to do. Okay. Looking at the fire exit plan, if you're on the bottom floor of this building and the fire alarm goes off, just go to whichever of the two west doors is closest and straight out away from the building. Okay. In the event that we have a tornado alarm, okay, the safe areas you can see here in the red. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit. Okay. All three of the red areas here are on this floor. The middle one, okay, I'll show it right here. This area here is the hallway between the bathrooms, okay. The main thing with that is we want to keep everybody out of direct, straight contact with the glass doors and glass windows. Okay, so the main thing there is to where any broken glass is not going to hit anybody. Also, the stairwell, like Rick said yesterday, the stairwell is very
Strongest.
has a good foundation and is very strong right there, so that's very another spot. And then this bathroom over here, or around this corner. Okay. Now, the difference between the alarms, what I call masked, and I was told if the alarm comes from outside the building, then it's a tornado alarm, so we're supposed to stay inside the building. Okay? And if the alarm is inside the building, it's a fire, and we're supposed to go outside the building. Okay? So, if you hear the alarm coming from outside, stay inside. If it's coming from inside, get out. Also, on this same form, we have quite a few emergency phone numbers. Okay? Generally, if we have an emergency, let me go back to this. Okay? The best way to deal with an emergency is to contact whatever staff member is in charge at the time. However, it's okay to go up the ladder. Okay, it works best if you go to the person that's directly in charge, but then if that person's not available, you can go up. Okay. Now, as far as staff members go, all of the staff members, Diana, Rick, Kevin, Ron, myself, Lauren Albrecht, Sophia, Jeremy, Karen. Okay, well, I didn't want to mention Karen yet. We're all basically the same level of supervised ability or whatever. And then Karen is above us. Okay, so she's all of our boss. And your boss too. Okay. So, now, in the event that none of us are available and Karen's not available, you can call campus security. Okay. John Bembry, the director, I believe, of security, his cell phone is on this document. Also, the security office, and those are available. If not, if you don't get an answer, you may have to call 911. Okay. So we would try to keep it under control locally, but of course, you know, if some of these things happen, a person with a weapon or intent of violence comes into the ASC, we probably want to go directly to calling the police department if we get on the phone. Okay. Now, in the event something like that happens, a person is in the building and we know that they have a weapon or that they intend to hurt people, in the ASC, the best place to go, or the best place to do is to have a locked, sturdy door between you and the people that you're with and the person that's coming in to hurt people, right? And then that means locked in a bathroom, locked in an office, but the best place in the ASC is the storeroom back there in the corner by Jeremy's office because it's a solid, sturdy door that can be locked from the other side, right? And so if somebody comes in, they're not going to be able to see the people inside there. Whereas if you're in one of the labs or in an office, they potentially break the glass and get to you. Also, there have been situations where there's been sexual or other types of harassment, and I believe Diana has something to talk about that.
The board has a sexual harassment policy, and basically it says it's a violation of board policy to permit harassment of an employee by an employee or a non-employee, being a student. Sexual harassment may include, but is not limited to, unwelcome sexually oriented communications, subtle pressure or requests for sexual activity, persistent unwelcome attempts to change a professional relationship into a personal, social, sexual relationship, creating a hostile work environment and including the use of innuendos or overt or implied threats, unnecessarily touching of an individual, that is patting, pinching, hugging, repeated brushing against the body, requesting or demanding sexual favors accompanied by an implied or overt threat with promises in regard to an individual's employment. Any person who believes they've been subject to that should immediately present the problem to an immediate supervisor. You also will have to put it in writing. It's best to do it, write it as it happens. HR is the one who will pursue it. If you're on duty, you can go to Karen first of all if she's here. Second person is the floor person, whoever that happens to be that night. You can also call security. If you feel that the minute you walk out the door somebody's going to pounce on you, security will be there. So, regardless of the means selected for resolving the problem, the initiation of a complaint will not cause any adverse reflection on the complainant, nor will it affect your employment, compensation, or work assignment. So don't feel, no matter who's doing it, that you have to worry about that, because you're protected. So, but if you feel uncomfortable at any time, don't sit there and take it. Just get up, excuse yourself, and go find Karen or go find a staff person and explain what's going on. You don't have to sit there and take it. And it does happen once in a while, just so you know.
Okay. Any questions regarding that? Continuing. Talk about a little bit about confidentiality and ethics. Okay. First of all, if it has to do with student grades, it's automatically confidential. If one of the people that you're helping to teach has shared any information with you about how they're doing in the class or something, please keep that to yourself. Okay. Also, if you, let's just say you're in a conversation, the student asks you, well, which science instructor do you like the best? Okay. A little rule of thumb here, if you can't think of something good to say, don't say anything. Right? We're all co-employees here at Dodge City Community College, and we want to build each other up. Okay? That means not tearing each other down. So if you don't have something good to say, just don't say anything, but feel free to share good qualities about different, for example, in that case, they're asking your advice which class to take next semester. Well, I think this professor has these good qualities, and this professor has these good qualities. Okay? This is something that in our line of work, tutoring, comes up fairly regularly. Because you might see mistakes that an instructor makes, or parts of their, the way they've designed things that may seem faulty to you. But just keep in mind that they do have a big picture, a plan for the way they design things. And certain instructors that these people don't like at all might work great for these people. Okay? So we all have our good things. Also, think of yourself as a role model. Demonstrate what it is to be a good student, because you all are good students. Okay? And we have plenty of students that need the model